Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Napoleon Tola back with some Shogun 2, Fall to Samurai, Scramble for I'm joking. Avatar battles. As a matter of fact, this battle, I actually posted it, at least, well, when I was in the battle. So I'm actually gonna do a battle replay of this battle now. This is a 4v4 on Waterfalls, the map, and the rules for this battle, for our team at least. Actually, no. The rules that we decided to do a sub-commanders, basically. Basically, what it is that every one of our guys leads a faction, leads a unit. For me, I will be leading the light infantry, so I'll see me bring a lot of Tosa riflemen. I do have a few reserves of sharpshooters, Emperor's Own, Infantry de Marine, and one unit of the United States Marines. But the rest of my army, besides the general and one artillery piece, is made of light infantry. Constellion is going to be bringing the line infantry, so be prepared to see a lot of line infantry for him. That does mean during this entire battle, coordination is going to be key. We have Ardier, who's going to be bringing the melee infantry, and we finally have Mito, who's going to be bringing the cavalry force. So yes, that's us. I'm going to actually start off by going to my side, and I'm going to be covering my units first, and then I'm going to be covering everyone else. For my army, I brought one United States Marine, one Infantry de Marine, one sharpshooter, and the rest are a good solid chunk of Tosa riflemen, which includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units of Tosa riflemen. I have one artillery piece. I have a general, and he's right here. Good looking general. Next we have Constantine. He's going to be bringing some Shogunate infantry, some Imperial infantry, mix them with some more infantry all across the board, Royal Marines, United States infantry, and Infantry de Marine. Down here he has more troops, and he's going to be bringing some Vermilion Bird, some Red Bears, White Bears, and some Imperial infantry, Guard infantry to be exact. Ardier is going to be bringing the melee troops, and he's going to be bringing a lot of katanas, a lot of katana kachis. His general, some Shogunatai, some more katana kachi, yarikachi, and a lot more yarikachi. And finally, we have Mito Streamer. He's going to be bringing some katana all the cavalry force. So be prepared to see some cavalry, left, right, all of this pretty good, solid cavalry, pretty terrifying cavalry. They're small in number, but they do a lot of damage. We do finally have some yariki from Ardier's force. So yes, our enemies they did not do it, and they did not do what we did. So that's going to be interesting. We have some katana kachi in this forest line, and eventually you will see a lot of troops in this forest line. But that's spoiling. But for those who have watched the stream, essentially, you know what I'm talking about. But we have a general right here. What are you looking for? This is pretty interesting. And he has a lot more units in this right here, around here, but mostly here. Next up we have General Montgomery, a pretty scary army, a good player, and a pretty scary army. He's going to be bringing the Emperor's guns, Armstrong guns, no surprise right there. There can only be technically one Emperor, and that's going to be me, Yorikachi. And we have the General's Bodyguard with a lot of troops that we cannot see right now. Our next person is Spice Merchant, and he's going to be bringing a lot of Red Bears, a lot of Tosa riflemen, well, so a few units of Tosas, mostly Red Bears, and some Shogunatai, mix them with some Shogunate Guard cavalry. Finally, we have Arm, and he's going to be bringing a good mix of Red Bears and some line infantry, mostly hiding in this forest. But now we're going to start. The first, I was essentially commanding. Well, I think I was commanding, but I basically told my entire team to get the heck up here. I was actually wanting my entire team to defend this place. That's why you can see me eventually moving troops to form a line. But the enemy is going to be pounding away at our guys with 2 artillery pieces. One is going to be right here, and the other one is going to be right. Well, currently right here. Yeah, they're pounding us pretty hard. They're actually pounding the cavalry, which is actually not a bad idea. And it is starting to get some lag because of the sheer amount of units on this battlefield. But you can see I'm trying to set up right here my Tosa riflemen. On this side, we definitely did not know where the entire enemy army is. We guessed it could be either here, here, or here. But because I am holy god, I see only this unit. I decide to fire, and the first few shots, I wasn't really paying attention to this side, but the first few shots we get this many kills. So it's kind of already foreshadowing how many guys are up here. As a matter of fact, my guys are up to 225 kills within the first few volleys. Finally, the entire our allied army is getting up to this hill. That does mean that we are going to be losing two dojos, and yeah, and eventually we're going to lose the third. Wait, we already lost 3 dojos, yeah, so that's sad. And so yeah, that's that. And eventually we're also going to be giving them this dojo because it's impossible for us to defend it. So we're going to actually be using the shrine, which increases the morale. So yes, that's that. I'm actually going to be pushing my men forward because I don't see a massive army until it's too late. Actually, I finally do see the army. This army is right here, and I'm going to actually be firing artillery at this massive blob now, because it is a massive blob, and I do need guns firing at them. My guys are actually going to open fire real quick, and then they're going to form up again. We actually do get hit by suppressing fire, but that's fine. And we literally found the entire enemy army of this part. So we were pretty sure that this entire enemy army is either here, which we did, or here. But we were still pretty certain that there's a massive army here. But yeah, just by the number of kills, that's pretty scary. From the bodies, I can tell that we have some Shogunate, some melee troops, and that's it. That's it. Yeah. But now they're up here, and we can finally see what they are. Yarikachi, Katanakachi, and I'm pretty sure some Shogunate. Yeah. But now with the Mido's cavalry just scouting, I'm gonna with Nagano Warrior Monk cavalry to be exact. Where I'm actually gonna be firing on this place. On the other side, the enemy is still not forming up. I'm telling Constantine to form up his line so we can stretch them out. But my guys are starting to open fire at this Spice's Red Bear Infantry. We are trading terribly, and the reason why we're trading terribly is because look, my unit 120 now down to 82. This is 150 range. This guy is only 200 range, and they're the basic line infantry. These guys cost 750. This unit costs 130, and we're getting pounded by artillery. The enemy is going to be using this force line. They're going to be stacking up units. And I wasn't really focused on this front for a second. I was actually preparing to blast away at this sector. And Constantine sent up Imperial infantry just to prepare to fire. But I was telling him to get away. We were also telling Mido's Stream to get his cavalry away from this side. But he does a surprising thing, which made us really question. He decides to dismount his cavalry and fight on land, fight on foot, which is pretty dang interesting. Hopefully he gets enough kills. But that said, elsewhere on the front is starting to get a little bit laggy, and our guys are just being pounded or shot away by this toaster rifle with 175 range, so we are definitely not doing so well. Toaster riflemen are here. I'm trying to get some shots into this flank, but eventually they realize that they do have troops here. General Monty has troops here. On the other side, we have tried to hold this hill. I do have some toaster riflemen setting up on this hill. We do have the range against these toaster riflemen, so they will be opening fire very shortly. But the main attack is going to be here, as enemy troops are literally storming down. At first we thought it was only these 3 units, but later we will find a lot more troops. My toaster riflemen are still getting shot away by the enemy toaster riflemen, and that's why I'm just focusing my artillery fire on this toaster rifleman. But now we can see in the center, Shogun Guard infantry with some Kyoto police literally going through these guys. This unit is hidden, so that's good. Yep, we are actually hitting some good troops. Carbines, Yarikachi, and some sharpshooters. with also 175 range. Mark III snipers. Jesus Christ. This carbon cavalry has 150 range, so that's also pretty terrifying. Monty has a pretty good army. 175, 150. Yeah. Oh, this is 70 range, so that's pretty interesting. And yeah, Yarikachi. But Mito is going to be sending his cavalry against the enemy, and we're actually going to be charging into some Kyoto police, which I wasn't really paying attention because the main attention is right on this side. We still don't know how many units are there, so Constantine is going to push up his infantry, and holy cow, did we find the entire enemy army. And at this point, we were realizing, okay, I was telling him to get the heck out of there. So because the reason why I wanted him to get the heck out of there is because my guys are all set up down here. We can literally fire multiple ranks up onto the hill, and all this guy has to do is get the heck out of there. Artillery is going to be sending some Shogunate, and I was telling these guys to get the heck out of there so my guys could blast them. They are buying some time, which is great. My artillery is going to be opening fire on this entire sector because, yeah, this is the biggest sector we're going to open fire on. But elsewhere, not a lot has been going on. The enemy is trying to move because they saw what I was doing. And we're going to give them a punishing volley, I think. Shoot already. They're well within range. Both sides are. The first volley should be fired by, yeah, they fired a volley. Most of the shots go over their heads, but that's fine. I have 2 more volleys preparing to open fire. These guys are actually not returning fire, so that's interesting. But on here, this is the main attraction. People are just throwing themselves at us. Yeah, Ardir is having to send a lot of Katana Kashi, and at this point I was telling him, no, don't. But yeah, actually no, I think I had him send some because I wanted him to control the sector so our guys can actually open fire. But we are firing, but we are not firing, definitely not firing fast enough. And the reason why we're not firing fast enough because this entire blob is charging down. The general is actually going to be sent in. Our sharpshooters are just opening fire en masse. We are firing in multiple ranks. That's the good thing. But there's just a lot of enemies. I'm not gonna lie. On the other side, we are getting slightly forced back, and at this point, I'm starting to think we might lose this battle. We're starting to get forced back. I was telling my team to hold this sector now. We're gonna hold the hill just to get some good kills. Ardir is gonna be sending Yariki to buy some time for the rest of our army to retreat. 2 Yarikis to be exact. But most of our line units are getting back. And now this entire force is just charging down the hill, and I really don't have any answer for that because Ardir's men was not able to contain the pressure. But thankfully we do have some cavalry charging greater of these guys, which is great. We're actually trying to kill the general here so we can rout this entire army. But at this point my general is also in the fray because he's trying to get some kills by gunning them down, but it's not working. Another cavalry unit is being sent down to hit the flanks, but at this point, one of my toaster rifleman unit routes is wavering, and a sharpshooter unit just breaks off the bat due to the charge. And to make the situation worse, the enemy is stopping my guys from opening fire, which is even worse. But however, with that, the entire enemy force is, with the help of the cavalry, 2 generals, a lot of cavalry, we were able to break this entire army. But look at the carnage. Like, literally, guys, look at the carnage. Mostly not up there, but here. Like, so many dead on this battle. These guys are still firing me, but at this point I tell them, stop firing, move away. My artillery is being limbered up, and we're going to be moving it right here. Well, eventually it's going to be limbered up. But that said, our artillery is going to be opening fire on whatever we can. At this point, we are formed up and set up, ready for this, thanks to some Yarikachi that sacrificed themselves for us. And we're just gunning anyone down that comes even close, remotely close. And at this point, it's not looking pretty for the enemy. 1 unit off the bat just routed, but look at the smoke here on this battle. Like, we have multiple ranks preparing to open fire. Wow, this is pretty interesting. We also have some white bear infantry. But The enemy does have this tree line, and I'm taking horrendous casualties on this side. That means, at this point, I've decided, you know what, we're gonna withdraw. We're eventually gonna withdraw. But on the other side, Ardier decides to push, which is not a bad idea, not at all. This faction, YVFR has lost most of his army, and we're gonna be chasing after this army. Not until we have Monty, who is going to be stopping us. But on this side, the main attraction is going on. Our guys are getting blasted away, so I'm going to order the withdrawal. Constantine is going to be setting up his infantry, I eventually tell him to pull these guys back into this tree line, which is going to be really useful. I'm actually going to be sending reinforcements, along with some of my United States Marines and some French infantry de marine. But at this point, besides the fact that we destroyed half of an entire army up this hill and down this hill, apparently, it's not looking good for us. The enemy has more numbers. They have better troops in some areas. Some Tosa riflemen under 50 range. Some Red Bay infantry. That's pretty good. And yeah, I like how this. We were not really. Artier was not really looking, but when we realized what was going on, we was like, just charge this unit in. But unfortunately for him, they do have 150 range. Yeah, it's not gonna look pretty. Constantine was about to send more troops to gun this entire sector down, but we decided, yeah, let's not. But now, we are starting to form up on this side. We didn't know what Monty has. His army is pretty much fresh. Not really a lot of damage dealt. So yes, that's that. We're gonna be Constantine's Imperial infantry is gonna be forming up and gonna be firing away at some Rep Tentai, which is gonna make them fall back. But at this point, both sides have stopped firing for a few seconds. We're actually gonna be deploying some mounted samurai to fire at some Tosa riflemen, which we really need to take out. As a matter of fact, I think during this entire time, I was actually firing at this Tosa rifleman unit, which stuff. There is one naval bombardment going on right here, and we were like thinking, wait, where the heck is it? So we were like right here. But yeah, so that's that. My artillery is actually pounding this Tosa rifleman, and the reason why it's pounding this Tosa rifleman is because these guys are bunched up, and so that's interesting. As a matter of fact, you can see the amount of damage that we did, killing quite a few. He's not going to move for a long time, which is good for us because I'm going to just be pounding away at this unit. Eventually he does move, and then after that I order my artillery to stop. On this side, my guys are hidden, and are they? No, they're not hidden anymore, but they're firing away at this White Bear infantry of General Montgomery, and yes. On this side, the hill, no one's really firing. Constantine, during the if you go to the battle, the live battle, you can hear Constantine just saying, "Wait, why aren't these guys just opening fire?" Like literally. But yeah, that's that. At this point, Monty has withdrawal for the second time, so we don't know what the heck is going on. But yes, we're gonna be firing on bows against this unit. Yeah, but nothing else is pretty much going on. I am actually going to be using the tree line against this entire massive army. But 150 range, and yeah, it's not looking pretty for these guys getting absolutely gunned down, and a pretty expensive unit too. During this entire time, you'll be seeing artillery just firing at us, and the reason why it's able to fire is because this archery dojo restores the ammunition, so that's pretty dang scary. Eventually, we do slaughter this Royal Marines, but in turn, we have to just literally sit here because now the enemy is just gonna be firing at us with all their might. But at this point, the battle has died down, and we were deciding what to do. Apparently, the enemy was also deciding what to do. And we were deciding, yeah, let's go and attack this way. I'm actually going to be pushing a Tosa Rifleman unit up to see what the heck is going on, but not before we spot the entire enemy army of White Bears. And they're just going to be gunning my Tosa Rifleman down. And I thought, I was trying to get them to fire a volley, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was really trying to see if these guys could get some kills against this line of Red Bear line infantry right here. I remember, yeah, but on this side we spot 2 full and the entire enemy army. What's remaining of this white force, and Montgomery's army is going to be preparing to attack us now. So yes, but the battle is not over yet, and just look at the amount of casualties. Most likely here, here, and here. Yeah, pretty deadly casualties. Not to mention the casualties here, 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 and here. A lot of dead already on the battlefield, and no conclusive victor. We're actually going to prepare to charge down because he's so close, but eventually we decide not to because 1, he has guns, and 2, he has Montgomery has units here. No, but we're Ardir is going to charge his Yarikachi. We're actually going to stop the charge before it gets too bloody. So yeah, that's that. And actually we're starting to shift units onto the other side. What left of my reserves, which is Imperial Infantry, a United States Marine, and my general is going to be sent on the other side. I'm not firing my artillery, and the reason is because I have limited ammunition. Unlike these guys who literally have infinite ammunition because they're right next to the artillery dojo. They're going to be firing away at us. But at this point we're starting to mass up our troops. And to the right, well, the enemy is also going to be massing up their troops. The reason why I'm not, and you might be thinking, oh, isn't this a massive blob? Why aren't you firing? The reason why I'm not firing is because literally I am not in range. And yes, that is just going to show you how far the range is. 500 range. But yes, the enemy is going to be starting to mass up on this side. A lot of Red Bears. Some more Red Bears with a unit of Shogunate. But this entire side is getting quiet because no one is really going to be assaulting up this hill. We don't want them to assault this hill because they don't want to assault this hill, so yeah, and we don't want to attack off the hill, so that's that. But that said, not a lot is going on, just movement of troops. Most of the enemy army is going to be moving left, so yeah, that's that. And to make the situation worse, the entire enemy artillery battery is just going to be set up here, and they're going to be blasting away at us. And during this entire battle, we were trying to take out the enemy artillery. The enemy artillery is not accurate, but when it hits, it's pretty bloody. As you can see, during this entire battle, I'm trying to move my troops to the right, and we're once again, Mado is going to be sending his mounted bow samurai to be firing at the enemy. The enemy is already tired, but they're using this hill, and the reason why they're using this hill in particular is because if they march just straight up here, they're going to be charged, and it's very smart for them to use this hill to set up right here, which is flat terrain, and they can literally gun anyone who comes, which is smart. But now we're deploying all the remaining reserves that we have because we realize this is a pretty big threat. I'm still putting a lot of troops on this side. As you can see, artillery bombardment has already dealt pretty considerable damage, but we moved away just in time. But that said, the enemy is going to be massing up troops. We're also going to be massing up troops, and at this point, this battle is going to be battle is going to restart. Not that this battle has ended, but yes. We were telling Mito was telling us to go around this hill so we can attack, and that was our plan. But yes, that's that. Actually, matter of fact, Mito actually sent in Yarikachi to charge. I don't know what was the point of that, but yeah. We do have some Royal Marines that are still firing. That's good for the enemy. But they are they are cutting away at some Yarikashi, which are hidden, so that's good. And some more Yarikashi that is hidden. We are also trying to fire arrows at this Royal Marines, which is doing good share of damage. Oh, we're actually also inching forth from this forest, which is great. However, the bad thing is that even if we go through this forest, there's going to be a long way until they can start firing. And not to consider the fact that literally they have a spirit levy here. We're actually going to charge, but my guys are not formed up, and when they are formed up, it's going to take a long time. So I'm actually pushing a lot of troops here. I'm actually going to be using the straight line to open fire on this Red Bears. But Ardir is going to charge. He's going to be charging in some Katana Samurai. They are going to be fired upon by some Red Bears, and eventually by some Shogunate. It's not going to look pretty for them. But now at this entire stage, we're just sending in units. I was telling him to hold back because this is really not worth it. Shogunate against Tanakachi. Obviously, the Shogunate are going to win. My guys are actually finally going to be moving up after they set up, and we're going to actually be starting to fire. One of my units is out of ammunition, and that unit is the artillery, so that's unfortunate. I was telling my guys to farm up, march, and one of my units is ready to open fire, and it's gonna do just that, or maybe not. But elsewhere, my guys are finally formed up. These guys have wandered a little bit too close, so I'm gonna pull them back. But yeah, so we're gonna start to open fire. On this other side, I'd also charge another Yari cavalry, and there we're gonna see what happens. My guys are gonna finally open fire, but because of some of the enemy cavalry, our allied cavalry's in the way, we're gonna have a slightly harder time. This 125 range is also firing back. I should have moved my troops back, but I think I moved them so close is because I was we were essentially using these guys as a meat shield. Not that these guys are pretty good meat shields, if you ask me. These guys are actually going to be doing a lot of damage. 145 kills, 133 kills. But now here comes our allied cavalry. We're going to be going around this hill and smashing in. We are outnumbered in terms of a line fight, but my men are fundamentally better, and we're just going to be gunning the enemy down. On this side, we've gunned down a pretty good portion of the enemy. My Ardir is going to be sending his general against some spear levy, which is going to be great. The enemy team is going to be sending in some more Kyoto police. But now we are going to be charging in. We're going to be charging into some Yariki, so that's not good. It is a spear unit. And finally, I'm going to give my guys the order to move up once again. And we're going to be firing at this massive blob. Arm, who is on the enemy team, is going to be sending even more Yariki. And at this point, it's not going to be looking pretty for any of us. My guys are just opening fire on this massive blob. The archers are opening fire, my guns are opening fire, everyone's opening fire. And as a matter of fact, I'm trying to go for a general because I really want Spice's army to get destroyed right here. One of my units are routing because... actually, I don't know why. Elsewhere on the front, our guys are just opening fire en masse against the enemy. And Spice is forced to move up, which is going to give us more time to open fire. Not to mention the amount of fires that we're being... Yeah, we're just firing into this massive blob. And every kill is actually going to get a kill. And it has a probability of killing another person. But that said, Yarikashi is going to be charging in, and we're actually trying to get the general, which is pretty useful. This general is going to withdraw, which is exactly what we want. At this point, cavalry has not really been committed, but the bow cavalry is doing a pretty good job. Elsewhere on here, it's a 1v1 versus a Red Bear of 62 against Tusa Riflemen of 35. And it's not good for us. Finally, we send in this cavalry without ammunition, and we're actually going to be charging them in. But at this point, we've taken this entire sector. The enemy has been thrown back. The general is actually going to be charging in. He should have actually stood there and fired at the general. But yeah, the general is going to be charging in. He's popped Banzai, and this unit automatically routes. Now we're actually going to be going for the enemy general, and this is a friendly fire incident. I opened fire at this fleeing unit, and I didn't even realize I was opening fire. And you'll see what happens very soon and very quick. The friendly general is right here, and guess what happens? I killed Mito's general. I literally killed Mito's general, and that is pretty. That's unfortunate. In return, we're gonna be killing an enemy general, but now it's both sides have lost a general. One is because of friendly fire, and the other one's because he actually died. We're actually gonna be sending in some general's bodyguard, and we're actually gonna be gunning this general down. Yep, he's dead. So that's great. Now we're actually gonna be moving back on this side. In this forest line, I definitely know that Monty has troops, I just don't know how many troops. And that's why the second we get a chance to open fire, these entire lines are just going to open fire. And look at the smoke though, like, oh my, this is pretty interesting. I have French Marines opening fire, I have Coastal Riflemen opening fire, and on this side I have United States Marines opening fire. And this battle is just epic. Like, the amount of smoke on this entire battlefield is already so epic. Like, smoke, smoke, smoke from... Now, the smoke over here has died out, but yeah. Yeah, the amount of smoke of this battle is pretty interesting. We're actually trying to see what the heck the enemy has now. Arm actually still has some Vermilion Bird Force, so he's going to be setting them up right here. We have some Imperial Infantry that's going to be setting up. During this entire battle, Constantine is going to have these guys open fire on the enemy. But for some reason they don't. They just stand here getting shot, apparently. Yeah, 2 volleys already, and these guys are not opening fire. Eventually, Constantine is just going to have these guys withdraw. Not to mention the amount of fire that, on the other side. But the second day fire volley, we're actually going to be opening fire on the other side. On the other side, I do have a unit that is going to be moving on this side. And we're going to use this little gap to shoot at this depleted unit. And at this point, we're down to it. Every single unit matters. This Vermilion Bird Force is getting gunned. 104 against some Imperial Infantry, 115. And not to mention the bows. And yeah. But eventually we decided to retreat off that hill, and that reason why is because we have a lot of red bears from General Montgomery. Not to mention the amount of troops that they have here. I decided to send in a unit that is out of ammunition, and they're just gonna get absolutely destroyed. But in return, we're actually gonna get some shots off against this massive blob. However, that said, General Monty is going to be trying to clip the hill. The second he goes over the hill, our guys are just going to charge at him. And we're actually going to do that right now. Not to mention the amount of guns that is going to be opening fire on that one unit. We're actually going to be pulling back a little bit. Well, I'm going to be pulling back a little bit. Some of our units are straight outright facing the wrong way. But Mito's cavalry, which is now out of ammunition, is going to be charging in against some Vermilion Bird Force that we essentially did some damage to. The enemy artillery is going to force us back, so we're not going to be pressing our luck. General Monty's, yeah, artillery. General Monty's Red Bear Infantry is going to be shooting at some things. And at this point, with a lot of death, right here, the amount of death right here is appalling. The amount of death right here is also pretty interesting. We decided to do some attacks, but we decided, yeah, let's not. And the amount of death right here, not to mention here, it's already pretty gruesome. We're actually going to be assaulting this place, and the reason why is because they have only 2 units of red bears, and the other unit of red bear. We have a lot of lines just pointing at them. We have multiple rings preparing to open fire. This unit is going to be firing first, and this is actually going to do a pretty good sizable damage. I eventually decide to move up and place my guys literally right here. You'll see what I'm going to do. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because the second they move past, we're going to prepare to open fire out volley. And at that point, the enemy unit's just like, yeah, we're not. Constantine in the chat was like, wait, no, get these units back. I was like, dude, they're routed already. And he's like, ah, sure, I'll take that. I was also trying to tell Constantine to get this unit, and we really want to get it off the field. On the other side, the battle has really died down. I think a lot has happened. But we're really waiting for this side to come across. The enemy artillery is still pounding us, and that is because we have a dojo. But thankfully, we did take out 1 artillery piece of Armstrong guns, and Shibumatsu, and we're actually going to be charging the 2nd artillery piece, and hopefully the enemy does not realize that. Actually they do, so they're going to be sending a lot of units here. All we have to do is charge this artillery piece, and if the enemy is smart enough, wow, this guy got this cavalry unit charged into this artillery piece. It crushed the horse, crushed this dude, and yeah. But now this cavalry unit is gonna destroy this artillery piece. It's gonna have it broken, so that's good. However, in turn, we're gonna lose a pretty good cavalry unit. And unfortunately, this artillery piece comes back, so that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. As you can see right here, the artillery piece comes back, so that's unfortunate. That said, we have made progress on this side. We have deployed an army unit on this side. I was trying to get these guys to open fire on this unit, but apparently they don't. Finally, on this side, Ardir is going to be charging in, and thanks to him, all my lines of guns are going to be opening fire. For some reason, this line is not firing, but yes, that's that. Right at this point, the balance of power is still even, and the reason why it is still even is probably because they have a lot of units in this force line, a lot of elite units. This is just the tip of the iceberg. They have some Tosa riflemen right here, and I was trying to tell Constantine to get the heck out of there. So yeah, that's that. Here we can finally deploy some of our remaining cavalry. We have the Great Guards just preparing to charge in. On this side, I'm going to be firing at the retreating enemy unit which decided to get out this forest line, which is a smart decision. And we're actually going to be doing quite the damage. Every kill matters at this point. The battle is still dead even. As a matter of fact, it looks a little bit in their favor, so that's good. So that's terrible. But at this point, we're slightly confident that we could turn this around. The enemy still has a lot of units. Montgomery has a few good units, but in terms of quality now, we have the better quality units. Our cavalry force is mostly depleted, but that said, and our melee units are pretty much depleted. But that said, I still have a good chunk of Tosa riflemen, which is really needed in the late game. Royal Marines with 150, and I still have some troops that have not really seen action in terms of units, like Infantry de Marine. Still up to 136 from a unit 163, and now we are just trying to. And now we have a massive gap in the enemy center right here. So we're going to be pushing around, flanking this side, and now we're going to be attacking. And to my surprise, well, you're going to eventually see what I'm talking about, but we're preparing to attack, and we're actually going to be attacking right now. They have a lot of troops in this forest, and you'll see eventually why. Our cavalry actually charges the back of these Tosa riflemen, and at this point I was telling everyone to sound general advance, which is the order to attack, and we were deciding, yeah, should we attack, should we not attack? This cavalry force is getting itself killed, so we're just like, yeah, there's nothing against attacking. So you can see Constantine is moving forward, his white bear infantry. They are going to get volleyed by whatever remaining forces are in this forest, but I decided to push up too. And at this point you can see a massive break on the enemy center. We have another unit of Tosa Riflemen. A unit of Tosa Riflemen right here. We're actually trying to see what we can do. We're gonna open fire and we're gonna absolutely decimate this Tosa Rifleman unit. On the other side, the enemy's starting to regroup and they're actually starting to pull out some ninjas. 2 units of ninjas. And at first I was like, wait, why didn't you deploy them sooner? And the second thought was that, okay, we're just gonna gun them down. Because I have a lot of Tosa Riflemen. As a matter of fact, we have also a lot of guns. And we're just gonna be firing massive holes against these Kisho Ninja. As a matter of fact, one unit is already broken. The other unit is actually gonna be charging in. They're gonna do somewhat better, and when I mean somewhat better, I mean getting a few kills. 2, 4, and remember, guys, this is a unit of one unit of these cost 900, so they really didn't do justice to themselves. With that said, more units are gonna be throwing in. They're trying to contain this attack, but because we have so many better units now, we're able to just gun these guys down. And I was actually aiming for the Tosa Rifles. Enemy Tosa Rifles that are now broken. Now we're actually going to be aiming for this Yariki. Yariki against Infantry de Marine is not that bad, but yeah. On this side we've created a semicircle right here, and we're just gunning anyone down. And as far as Hero Guard Infantry, we're gunning that down. We're actually sending in our general because we feel so confident. And on the other side, we've decided to attack again. And General Monte's army has decided to rout. His troops have decided to rout. And that is the victory. And yes, that is pretty much it for this battle. And I'm actually going to be showing you guys the kills. But wait, 1 second, it's not over yet. Actually no, it's now over. But yes, I'm going to end the battle. And we're going to see who got what kills. This battle for me, during the battle we said it was such a grind, and it really was. At first we thought we were going to lose, especially when technically the enemy could have attacked, but we were in such a strong position that if the enemy attacked, it would just be suicide. But the real problem for the enemy was their entire melee force on that hill was pretty much not worth it. Let's see, for me, I got 45 kills for my general. I got 680 kills, mostly 200 kills within the first 2 volleys against that emplacement on the hill. And not to mention Infantry de Marine, United States Marines, all good stuff. Sharpshooters not performing well, but then they're sharpshooters. Constantine does also pretty well. Royal Marines, United States Marines, Infantry de Marine. Ardier does mildly well, but that's alright. Mido Streamer gets most of the kills from Great Guards and elite cavalry units. And all across the board, these Yarikachi are not that bad. They didn't get that bad of kills. Pretty terrible kills on this one unit of Shogun type, but that's it. Shogun Guard Infantry not doing that well for this unit, but pretty good for this unit. Royal Marines doing quite well. And all across the board, pretty well. Monty, interesting kills. Yeah. Armstrong Guns 176 kills, not that great. The Spice Merchants Artillery getting 305 kills. Not as much as my artillery, if you combine those numbers. But the real killer is right here, is this dude's artillery, and 344 kills, so that's pretty interesting. But that is it for this battle. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I will be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.